Hello and welcome to episode 4 of my Salem tutorial series. This episode is going to be on building a new lean-to, as I will presume you have had the same problem as me, finding water. You have found it, but it is too far from your current lean-to. So when we look at my map, okay, looking in the mini map, you can see there's no water. Scrolling all the way out, you see there's no water, but we know to the south of me, the southwest, there is clay and there is water. So this lean-to here is not very much good for us, is it? So now, I've shown you how to find what you need in the area for you to settle. I also warned you about other people being too close. How do you know if a lean-to is being used by someone? Well, when we look at my lean-to that I was given, that you can see here in this picture, do you see this bit of paper that's been nailed to the side of my lean-to? What that tells you, when you see a bit of paper nailed like this on the lean-to, that means someone is in possession of it. If you see a lean-to like this but without any paper on it, that means it was a lean-to that someone previously was living at. Now when we go to the southwest, which we're going to do in a minute, and build a new lean-to, I'm going to show you how to make that our new homestead. As soon as we do that, this bit of paper will disappear off of the lean-to and it will just be a plain lean-to with no paper attached to it. I might take the time to walk back up here and show you, just so you can see. But okay, so that's how you know if people are dwelling nearby. But remember, even if you see paper, it might be someone who logged in, tried the game and then didn't bother progressing, which is usually what the case will be. Firstly, remember our mind is on the money. Whenever you see a tree trunk or a log, always open it up and take a look inside to see if there is an Indian feather or Indian arrowhead, because these you can sell. You will see them lying on the ground or in logs and trunks. You know, in the mini map you will see an icon of a feather or an icon of an arrowhead. You will get used to what they look like. You can sell them either individually in the town, which will not get you much money, or you can save them for when we have the skill to make something worth even more money. And yes, I will show you. But before I go any further, I want to just say a thank you to everyone who has watched my Salem episode so far, and everyone who has spent their precious time leaving a comment. Thank you, pilgrims, for doing that. Okay, so let's show you then. So I've just said about checking all the logs. If we zoom out, there is a log laying on the ground. That's what a log looks like. Where do logs come from? Well, when you chop a tree down, if you don't chop it to bits, as we're going to do in a later episode, if you only chop a few logs from it, wooden blocks from it, and then you leave the tree on the ground chopped down, it will eventually, after a few days, rot into what's called a hollow log. And then what you can do is right click on the log and left click open. You can chop more blocks from it, but then you risk destroying it and losing the fact that it can be a handy container. So let's left click on open. When you open it, if it's been left lying there a while, you will see there's sometimes items inside. Now, all three of these items are useful, because you will see not only can you get stats if you attach them into one of your items. You say that you've put some items in you've put a hat on, or some shoes, or trousers, or a jacket, or your robe. By the way, your robe, you can either, oops, don't look, I'm naked. Either your robe you can put there, or your robe you can put there. So bear in mind you can wear 2 priestly robes. Okay, and each one will give you what's called, you see the little orange writing that says unused slot? That means that you can slot something into it. So if we take a look here, this smooth stone, if we slotted it into our robe, we would get 1 impact power for combat, and we would get 3 blunt power, again for combat, and we would get 1 piercing power for combat. We can also use it to gain proficiency points. Items in this game are just like worm. Everything has a use and everything has a multiple use. Until you are sure, be careful of what you throw away, but rest assured I will be letting you know of everything that's of value. Rocks, abandoned cobwebs and beetles, they are all very useful items, but until we have containers we are going to get overweight. But the gamester is a hoarder, so guess what? They are all going in my pocket. Anyway, we didn't find what we was looking for to make money, but we did find some other nice items. It doesn't matter, we'll move on. Now, this is where the lean-to was put by default. I'm not happy here, so the gamester ain't staying here. Let's move down to where I showed you. Now, over here you'll see there's a tree trunk. We won't just ignore it, we will open it up and have a look. And lo and behold, there is one of the items we're looking for, an Indian arrowhead. Now, individually you can sell this to a stall in Providence for 4 silver. That is not what we will be doing. When we manage to find an Indian arrow as well, we can combine the arrowhead with the feather. When we manage to find an Indian feather as well, we can combine the Indian arrowhead with the feather and make an inspirational. But this inspirational that we're going to make, we can sell to the stall, and we can sell it for much more than 4 silver. The feathers, I believe, we can sell for much more than the arrowhead, but again it's worth making what I'm going to show you. So for now, if you shift left click, you put items straight into your pocket. Remember that, rather than having to, let's just show you. So you've got 2 ways you can remove items from any container. You can either left click on the item and left click it in your pocket if you want to be silly, or you can press the shift key and left click and it will automatically then place it in your inventory. There we go, and so we have an Indian arrowhead. Good, we are starting to make money. Let's continue down south now, because we want to build our new lean-to. And also I need to show you, we'll take a quick look around to see if anyone is around. I have had a look, there is someone to the east, and if they are still playing, yes, they will take offence to me, and yes, they will start smashing and destroying and taking everything I've got. But what you need to get used to, my friends, is it's only material items. Good luck to them if the stuff they steal helps them. Good luck to them. We won't be bitter. It's easy to make things, and we will just renew and make again, just like the pilgrims of old. We won't let a few horrible people stop us from progress. We will continue. Now, there's a sign that someone's been around. They've chopped the tree down, got what they need and moved on. But that still shows a sign that people have been around. No matter where you go on the server, you will always see evidence of civilization. Don't worry about it. Unless they've built up a big settlement that they've got a claim token on, they're pretty much not here. So there you go. Okay, let's check this log. Okay, nothing in that one. That's fine. Now, the difference between logs, tree trunks, fallen, rotten, hollow logs and bushes is in tree trunks and rotten logs you will find things like the Indian arrowhead feathers, cobwebs, rocks and items of that nature. In bushes, when you open them, right click and click open, you will see cobwebs again, but you will also commonly see things like bugs and worms, which have their uses when we start fishing. So bear that in mind. If you're looking for slugs or worms or bigger worms, then the bushes are your best friend. For now though, the next order of business is building a new lean-to near water and near clay. So let's continue on with that mission. Okay, now I've scouted down here and I like this area just here. Why? There's 3 reasons why I like this area. Yes, I know that there is only one tree here, but bear in mind in the future I'm going to show you how to start forestry, and you can start planting trees so you can create your own trees. You can also create your own water with a well, you can create your own clay by digging soil, terraforming, and you can create your own limestone with limestone troughs. This area where I am currently at is only really a temporary permanent place. I will stay here, and if I don't get abused, attacked, killed, stolen from, molested by other players or animals and creatures, there's a good possibility this will be a permanent location. If, however, I get any of them actions done to me, like attacked, or someone decides to make a claim just right next to me and decides to just start being really awful, then I will move on. But before I do that, I would have built up the skills necessary. For one, being able to make all of these different resources myself. Now though, there's 3 reasons why I'm here, why I've chosen just here. 1, there is water. 2, there is clay. 3, there is what's called shallow water. Now let's zoom in and show you this. This is going to be invaluable, the shallow water. When I get to having a bucket or a barrel, what you can do is you can right click the bucket or the barrel on this shallow area. This is deep water, denoted by the colour blue. This is shallow water, denoted by a strange off colour of green. It means you can right click with a container like a bucket or a barrel and it will fill it with water. So if you right click on deep water, nothing happens. You have to right click on shallow water. So that will prove invaluable to us. So there we are, 1, 2, 3. 3 very good resources to have. And also we only need 1 tree because we can pick endless branches from it. With most resources, like if I dig the sand, dig the clay, you will see it digs holes, so you're slowly digging it up. Fortunately there's loads here. Water's unlimited, so is the shallow water. Trees, picking branches are unlimited. If I chop the tree down though, it's gone. So do not chop down the closest tree to you, keep it for branches. Branches have many uses. One of them is as fuel, another one is for crafting. Like everything, it all has many uses. I will show you eventually everything. Just give me time with the episodes and all will become clear. I intend to unlock this game and completely open it up to everyone. I only need time to do so. Okay, so that's the reasons for me choosing here. Now if I zoom right out and if I come over here to the right, yeah, over here, right over here, you can see there's another lean-to and there are a few bits and bobs built around it. There's a chance there's someone there. I'm going to take that risk because I like this area, because over here to the left on the mini-map you can see loads of rocks. So I will have like this. See this over here? This is a single rock. But up here, if I show you quickly, there are hundreds of rocks. So I will never run out of rocks. Where did them rocks come from? People mined them out of this white area. You mine this area once you have the skill, and you will mine boulders. That's what these are, boulders. Here we have common stone. Over here we have granite. Both very useful. So there we go, that's why I like this area. Let's see if some other pilgrim decides to take offence to my presence and try and disrupt the gamester. For now, however, I will make it just here. Here's perfect. Look, we got more than one tree near. We've got the water, we got the shallow, and we got clay. Yeah, the clay's been dug a bit, but that's okay. We've still got plenty of clay we can dig. And anyway, if we terraform this land, we will still get more clay. So it's all good, my friends. Okay, so this is the spot I'm going to build my lean-to. To build a lean-to, you will need 2 hay and 10 blocks of wood. You will also need to learn the skill hiking. Otherwise, you will be limited to where you can build your lean-to. So let's show you how to unlock the skill so you can do this. Right, now if we open up the pocket, okay, first let's open up the all-seeing eye. Here we are. I've highlighted the skill we need to learn, hiking. Now over here you will see the proficiencies that we need. We need 200 in that one, 400, 300 and 200 in mines and mountains. Okay, you can see mine are all on 0. How do we get these up? Now we're not going to do it this time through building inspirationals. There's been some comments made by some of you viewing. Thank you very much for sharing of the information. I hadn't mentioned it yet because it was too soon. I don't want to clog up each episode with too much massive information. I will drip feed it to you all slowly so you can ingest it and enjoy it at your slow pace. Now, okay, we don't always have to build inspirationals. There are resources in the world lying around that you can use. You can also, let me just check my notes. I'm going at 1,000,000 miles an hour here. Right, okay, so there are items you can find rather than inspirationals for getting the points you need in the relevant proficiencies. Down here are 2 common items. The rocks you see laying around on the ground. You see them in the mini-map. Now up here you can only see flint. A smooth stone looks like a tiny little stone. These are smooth flints, so they're no good. But you can also find smooth stones in logs, like I showed you at the beginning of this episode. That's one way, and you can see that it gives us some of the, let's see, so it's got flora and fauna, it's got hammer and nails, it's got hunting and hide working, and it's got mines and mountains. Does it have enough for each? Nearly. It has enough flora and fauna. It is short by 50 on the hammer and nails, and the hunting and hide working is short by 10, and the mines and mountains does have enough, but we're still short. Now let's take a look at the broken berg. I probably don't pronounce that correctly, but what the heck, this is the Gamester. You wouldn't expect anything pronounced correctly. So looking at this, it gives us enough flora and fauna. It doesn't give us enough hammer and nails. Hunting and hide work, it doesn't give us enough. It's short by 45. Mines and mountains, it gives us half. So we have a choice. We can either learn 2 smooth stones, a smooth stone and the berg, or 2 of these broken bergs. How did I get this broken berg? Let's show you. We'll walk over to this tree. Now, whenever you harvest items, different items in the game. Okay, let's see in my notes how I explain this. Okay, from doing lots of different things, you can get rare items. This is classed as a rare or semi-rare item. Okay, because it's not what you normally get when you pick a branch. So from doing many different things you can get many different items. To give you a few examples, picking branches from trees can give you rare bergs, bergs I think they're pronounced. Chopping down trees can also, remember, give you bird's nest occasionally. Also you can get a cross, a very rare item, a wooden cross from chopping down trees. Excuse me. You can, from chopping trees down, like that one lying on the ground up there, you can get rare pieces of wood from chopping. You can get from chopping trees when you've put them on the sawbuck, you can get, and you're making planks, you can get rare items from that. So there's lots of ways to get rare items, but to show you how to get this, right click on a tree, pick branch. Now keep picking branches until you see one of these appear. They're either going to happen really quickly, or you might have to empty your pocket a couple of times. They're very heavy branches, so your pocket will fill up quickly. Let's just walk away because we haven't got one. Notice how slow I'm walking when I'm overloaded. To drop them, simply press the left control key, keep it pressed and left click on each of the branches. They will then drop to the ground. Okay, so that's how you drop an item. Hold the left control key and simply left click on the item. See, now we have a pile of items on the ground. Yes, the gamester's messy, but then you're used to that. So let's try again. Let's minimize that. Right click on the tree, left click, pick branch. Let's watch again. Now normally I get one after the second or third branch, but because I'm recording a video, I'm going to probably have to pick a few thousand branches in order for it just to simply show us what I want. So let's empty these out again. And let's try it again. Normally they're never this rare, but like I say, because I'm recording, it's just going to make me earn it, just like Worm always loves to do. The game knows I'm recording. Right, okay, let's empty again. Normally I get them after picking one or two, so will you, but we shall persevere. Notice you can, there we go, we got one. Notice you can pick as many branches, it's unlimited, the tree will never go. So that is why you leave one tree standing. Right, let's drop these branches. So that is how you get a broken burr. There you are, that easy. Right, okay, so we have that. So now we have a choice. What do we do? Do we do two of these, or one of these and one of these? To help you answer that question, I will show you a factor. Whenever you study an item, it has a cost. Notice in yellow, underneath all of the proficiency points, it says inspiration required. That is how much of your inspiration it is going to use up. So to answer your question of what we should use, it's whatever costs the least amount of inspiration, because we're going to use it up. It does regenerate over time, but very slowly. We will be building a bed later on, and that is how we will regenerate 100,000 inspiration every time we log off. But for now, we haven't got there, so I won't jump ahead of myself. For now, we will work out. So if we use this, it takes 2,365 inspiration. Every time you study the same type of item, it will jump up in how much inspiration it will cost you. So the first one is that amount. The second one will be much more than that. We will take a look as we do it. So that's 2,300. The burr is 2,790. So this will take less. So we will study the rock. Let's study it. Yep. I do like that sound because that's exactly what we will be saying a lot of the time. So we've used up some bile, but thankfully you listened to the gamester and you've got a berry which will regenerate to full our black bile. We don't need it yet because we need to learn one more. So if we look, notice it's jumped to 3,547 now. So it increases each time you study that item. If we go back to the broken burr, it is still the original amount. So guess what? We're now going to learn a broken burr. So we study it. We now have enough to learn the hiking skill, denoted by the green flashing by. We also saved on inspiration. Oh yeah, the gamester's got your back in every direction. He's showing you how to save your precious inspiration. Let's left click buy. That's now unlocked further skills, and also it has now allowed us to build our lean-to wherever we wish. It has also allowed us to cross swamps and to ascend steeper slopes. So if we go down here to the adventure menu and click on it, you will see that it's not actually opened it up yet, but when we learn some of these skills that let us climb steeper slopes, we will start to unlock items in here which will show that, reflect that. For now though, it's not there, so let's not go off on a tangent. Okay, sticking to our mission, which is to build a lean-to. So I like this area. I'm going to do it here because when I build the claim, I'm going to cover this clay, this shallow water, and some water. Why would I want to cover the water with my claim? Well, when I start putting down fishing traps, if I do not protect them, people are going to come and take them, or at minimum they're going to steal the contents of my fishing traps. Don't worry, I will show you how to protect your fishing traps, and we're going to have a lot of fun fishing, but for now we need to do our lean-to. So okay, we can now build the lean-to, but however we do not have the materials yet for it. So what we will do, let's now show you how to get the materials. Like I told you previously, we need 2 hay and 10 chopped blocks. To get the hay, you will need to pick up 10 grass. As you can see, I've got grass in my inventory. I did show you previously how to pick grass, but I will show you again. So if we walk up here, there is some grass. Do you see it? So right click on the grass, left click pick, and we will have it. Fortunately, some other pilgrim has very nicely left a log for us. That's where we will get our 10 wooden blocks. Now, we're overweight, so what we will do is just chop a few for now. So you just right click on the fallen tree and left click chop blocks. Now we've got to be careful with how much we go overweight, so I'll do 4 at a time. There we go, I'm not walking too slow. Let's try 5 because then it's just 2 trips. So we'll carry on chopping. Now we could get a rare item, but I doubt we'll get it straight away. I'll show you one eventually. Okay, that's enough. We have 5. So what we'll do, we also have a nice berry bush, but that's not such a great concern. I'm going to be showing you how to move bushes. Okay, so let's put our lean-to just here. So now let's create the hay first of all. So if we go to our crafting window, and left click the hammer and anvil, left click this item which says processing and materials, left click on hay. You will see we need 5 grass. So click the craft window, the craft button I mean, and notice that it's turned into 1 hay. We however need 2 hay, so we will click again. We could have clicked craft all, but I'm showing you both ways. So there we are, we have 2 hay. Now we have half the logs we need and 2 hay. So what we will do, we will now click the build button, we will now click the buildings and structures button, and we will now click claims and defences. We will now left click the lean-to. It will put a ghost image of the lean-to down. Now to position, to turn it around, okay, press the left shift key and use your mouse wheel and it will turn it around so it becomes very straight for you. Okay, there are different ways of positioning. I will show them as they become relevant. For now, that's how you turn something around. You hold the left shift key down and scroll your mouse wheel and it will turn it. Okay, we'll do it just there facing like that. Now I will left click. You are low on black bar. Right, okay, because I studied. So we'll eat a berry. There we go, and we'll eat another berry. Why not? Okay, now if we watch, it will slowly regenerate. Now that should be enough to do it. Let's close this window. So we will click back on them buttons, get the lean-to back. We will shift and scroll round and we will, shall I put it just there? Yeah, it doesn't really matter, we'll put it just there. There we go. So there's the template. Right, like I said before, left click on a bit of hay, hold down the left shift key and left click. Scroll your mouse wheel and it will add them for you. Then we go to the logs, left click, hold the left shift and left click. Now, oops, and then hold down the shift and scroll your mouse wheel and it will add. Then click build. If you walk away, it will not make the structure for you unless you've added some items to it, so be aware of that. Right, now that we've added some items, oops, there's the timer. Yep, I know, I'm nearly done. Let's finish this lean-to. We will come back, chop 5 more blocks. Cool, time seems to just fly by so quickly when I want to show you so much. This is why I limit what I'm showing you, because otherwise the gamester's going to talk for ages. Oops, look, there's our rare item from chopping blocks. It's a knotted wood block. We will keep that for now. Right, okay, there we are. We have 5 blocks. Now this is where you have to be careful. If you can add this item by mistake, just like you can add this item by mistake. If you're making something that requires a branch, the game will add whatever item it first comes across. So if it sees 1 branch is needed, it will automatically highlight this. So what you can do is left click on that item and then the game will highlight the next item in the list that it finds compatible, which will be the branch. And then when you left click this back down, it won't be highlighted anymore. The same goes for these. If I was to make something requiring wood blocks, it would chew up this by mistake. We don't want that. We're going to use that for something else. Okay, what we're going to do is right click back on this template, bring it down here, left click a block and shift left click and then scroll. Do you see that? It just chewed up my rare item. So I remove the scroll back and it puts it back. When you have a rare item, the best thing to do is simply left click and drag them over like so. That way there's no risk of losing that rare item. There we are. Let's click build. We now have a lean-to. Notice that the lean-to has no paper nailed to it. What that's telling us is that it is not our settlement, our homestead. Our homestead is still up there. To make this our new homestead, we right click on the lean-to, left click, make homestead. Bang, there's our bit of paper. This is now our homestead. Notice it's not showing the direction of that homestead anymore up there because it doesn't exist anymore. This is our new home. This is where our homestead is. This is where it will always point to from now on. So there we are. Job is done. The gamester has achieved his objective. Yes, he's gone over time, but he can't help it. This game is so much fun and has so much going on for it. I can't help but make most of the episodes on this Salem go over time because it's simply me having too much fun. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.